we're hoping this is just another avenue where we can explore how maybe other people would like to get involved and actually participate on one of our, I think we have 5 or 6 committees now.
Hello, everybody. My name is Osed Zeri, and you're listening to the first episode of the PVLIP podcast. So for those of you tuning in, this podcast is meant for us to get to know our community more. There's lots of very diverse people in our community, and a lot of people are curious and want to know about these people's backgrounds, where they come from, what they do, you know? So we, PVLIP, we have made this podcast so we can get to know our community. Yeah, we have a theme, basically. We want to shift judgment to curiosity. So today I'm here with Elaine, and she's a coordinator for PVLIP, Pembina Valley Local Immigration Partnership. So Elaine, how are you doing today?
Hey, I'm doing great, thanks.
So what exactly is PVLIP? Would you like to introduce the whole group to everybody who's listening?
Sure. So this is a very new thing, a program, I guess, in our region, which is the Pembina Valley, and the PV stands for Pembina Valley. So we cover our area from Altona, Morden, Carman, Winkler, and surrounding region. And the LIP stands for Local Immigration Partnership. And this is a title that's been given to us. And what it represents is local partners throughout various communities, which are stakeholders, business owners, leaders of the community, municipal leaders, education, law enforcement, from all different sectors. All these partners come together to help continue a conversation on what it means to demonstrate or create a welcoming and inclusive community. How do we, as a region, build our communities into ones that are where everyone can feel like they belong? And so in our case, we're particularly focused on the new immigrants in our region. So our mandate is to work with community leaders and newcomer voices to help come up with strategies and ways to implement ideas to improve the settlement and integration of newcomers throughout the area.
Yeah, that's amazing for sure, because I'm surprised too. There's many people in our own community who don't know a lot about like how many people are here from how many different places, and that they don't do things the same way as that. You know, that's like the standard here.
That's right. That's very true.
Yeah. So how about you tell us a little about yourself?
Wow. Okay. So I have always loved people. I love working with people from all walks of life. I've always had a heart to be a helper. And so over the years, that's taken on different roles in different ways. But in 2008, I was the first person to join, at that time, the settlement provider organization, which at the time was called South Central Immigrant Services. And I was the first integration worker in Altona in 2008. And that started out as a part-time role, helping new families as they moved into Altona understand their community, get connected to the libraries or different resources like family resources, and also create information sessions for them on, how do you live in this new town, and how come the arena is called the MEC Center and not the arena? Starting to understanding how things work. And so I was in that role for quite a few years, and then we ended up creating a volunteer program. So I led that and developed a volunteer program for what is now called Regional Connections. And then I just naturally fell into taking on the role of this program, which was also brand new. So I guess I've kind of fallen into the opportunities of creating and developing programs to help improve the integration for our newcomers in our region. So it's been quite a journey, and I just love it. And that's kind of how this all kind of got started.
Oh, that's good. So this isn't a new thing for you. You've always been doing things for the community.
It has been, yes, it has been a part of, I guess, the natural tendencies that I've fallen into over time. And at this particular season in my life for the last, like I said, 12 years, I guess, working within the newcomers and newcomers in our area. So I've just really, really enjoyed it.
That's good. Yeah, and so like you said before, PV and PVLIP stands for Pembina Valley. So why
Correct.
exactly is PVLIP only like for here? Like it could branch out to other areas too, right? Like why is it just here?
So this is an initiative that has been developed by the federal government under Immigration, Refugees and Citizenship Canada, and that is our it is one of 80 across Canada. So, for example, in Manitoba, we have the same kind of concept also working in Winnipeg and Steinbach and Portage la Prairie, Brandon, and just recently Dauphin. So we have a variety of areas that are covered by a local immigration partnership. And so in our case, we cover multiple communities, whereas some of the programs are just located in one center, like Portage or Brandon. But since we have multiple communities with immigration of varying sizes, ours happens to be focused in the Pembina Valley.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense for sure. So yeah, I think that's a pretty good insight on PVLIP, what we do, who we are. So if you have anything else to add, you can add that now.
Yeah, and I think it's really important to remember that it's a partnership that we work with. We at PVLIP, we don't do everything on our own, but what we do is collect all the voices and bring everyone together to come up with the common goal to help our communities improve and do things better. It doesn't mean that we aren't doing things well, but we can always find ways to do or make changes in areas that will improve overall outcomes. And so, for example, we have 3 areas we're working on, and we'll get into those later in another podcast, but we definitely have a lot of resources on our website, which is www.pvlip.ca. And we'd always love to answer questions and have anybody reach out to us who may be curious and want more information.
All right, great. And yeah, and since you're the coordinator of PVLIP, I feel like I should ask you this question. And since it's the introduction, what are your goals for this podcast? What would you like people to get to know? What do you think the future episodes should hold for our community?
You know, that's a really great question. And to be honest, this is a new venture for me. And I think as most programs like ours that we don't have a lot of money to spend on things like marketing and publicity, that's really not something we have a budget for to get our message out. It's just another tool that we think and hope will reach people in different walks of life. So even though it is a bit challenging with such a small staff like myself and one other person to try and reach out and get this information to the communities, we're hoping this is just another avenue where we can explore how maybe other people would like to get involved and actually participate on one of our, I think we have 5 or 6 committees now. So if there's interest in that area, this would be a great way to engage some of our youth in the communities who are passionate about helping others and getting involved, or anybody who maybe is looking for a way to contribute to their community. Then this is another opportunity to do so.
Yep. Yeah, and I'm also very excited to be a part of this podcast, and it's a great opportunity for me. It's a great opportunity for the community. And the future, I mean, we'll see what it holds, but I have really high hopes for it.
And I'm so excited to have you and the team working on this. It's really fresh, and I think I don't know if there's very many other LIPs doing something like this. So I think we're leading the charge, and I really appreciate the value that you and your skills and the rest of our committee members are bringing to this podcast. So thank you so much for putting your time in and being a part of this.
Yeah, for sure. It'll be so much fun, and so to like see all these different people in our community. We get to see people from like schools, businesses, churches, you know, we get to know all our neighbors. So yes. Yeah, so thank you very much for having being on this podcast episode today. I hope you have a good day, and I hope everybody else who's listening has a great rest of their day. Everybody stay safe, We have lots of bad stuff going on, but maybe we can pull together and make the end of this year really great. So yeah, have a great rest of your day.